Hey, it's Mega, aka the Art Messiah, here to save you from your art sins. Welcome back to day 24 of the 30 Days of Making Comics Challenge. Today we're going to be talking about time management. Are you having trouble finding the time to get to doing artwork or making your comics? Then you've come to the right place, because I'll be giving you 6 tips for you to find the time to start to work on your comic. Now, last video we were talking about the mindset of producing and not being perfect. And that's actually the first step into helping us with time management, because when we are more focused on producing, then we are more conditioned to just go ahead and get started and to produce something, rather than limiting ourselves and saying that if we can't make something perfect, we don't want to make anything at all. So that is the first hump. Go check out that video if you haven't already. So you're probably like, Mega, I do not have the time. I work a full-time job, I have kids, I have school, whatever the case may be. It probably feels like you just do not have the time to draw. And I get that, I understand that, and I go through that a lot myself. I work a full-time engineering job and don't get back home until around 6 or 7. But what I'm going to tell you guys today are 6 tips that have helped me to block out some time for drawing, and hopefully it can help you guys to get to drawing every single day. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And tip number 1 is, don't feel like you have to have a really long drawing session. Okay? When it comes to drawing and improving, the simple fact of doing it daily is going to yield results. And I know that can be frustrating at times, but I just want to put that out there, that you don't have to draw for 2 hours in order to get better. If you only have 15 minutes in the day, or you only have 30 minutes in the day, that's fine. Sit down at your lunch break, or if you have a break at work for those 15 minutes, and start doing some gesture drawings, and try to practice drawing hands or eyes or anatomy or backgrounds. In the 15 minutes, just try to get drawing. And if you're working on a comic, use those 15 minutes to thumbnail some new pages or write some new story ideas down. So what I'm saying is, don't feel like you have to have 2 hours in order to get better at drawing. Actually, I like doing drawing sessions in very short periods of time, because it keeps me focused, it keeps me on task, and it keeps me thinking that, oh, I don't have to sit down for a very long period of time. I only have to do this for 15 minutes. And so that gets me drawing very, very quickly and gets me right into it. Okay? So tip number 2 is, start a time journal. And guys, this is the most important thing that I'm going to be telling you guys in this video. And I've been doing this for a while now. I started it in college. And basically what I want you to do is, I want you to write down everything that you do in your day, and I want you to write down how long it takes you to do that activity. Okay? And I want you to do this over like a week, maybe 2 weeks. And I want you guys to see what you're spending the most time doing. And that is going to help you see where you can maybe fit drawing into your schedule. Okay? So, this next week, right? You hear this video on Wednesday, for an entire week, write down your time journal. Okay? And this is going to lead me into tip number 3, which is going to be, and this is the hardest one, give up some things that are not as important to you. And this is essential, and it's critical for making time for drawing, because as you know, it's like we live busy lives. I have to go to work, and I don't get home to 6, and then I gotta, cook dinner, clean, shower, bunch of like miscellaneous activities, all thrown in there. So you have to really figure out what it is that you want to do and what it is that you can kind of cast aside. So what I've done is, I've started to cook on Sunday and cook all my meals, and now that gives me some time to draw. Okay? And sometimes it's not being able to hang out with friends. Maybe you have to say, hey, I can't hang out tonight. I'm going to spend 30 minutes, an hour drawing. Or, hey, I can hang out a little bit later. I really got to work on this comic, and, I'll meet up with you on the weekend. You don't want to push everything aside, but you're going to have to make some sort of sacrifices in order to find time to draw your comic, okay? And most of you are going to find that you have some kind of free time laying here and there, especially if you're in like high school, middle school. Um, you've got time, okay? I played sports and I played video games and did a lot of that stuff in high school, and I still found time to draw. You basically just have to say, okay, I really like playing video games, but today I'm going to work on drawing, and then tomorrow I can reward myself and play that video game that I wanted to play. So the third tip is you're going to have to give something up. Now, the fourth tip is kind of piggybacking off of that, right? When you're giving stuff up, it's usually being able to like hang out with people. And so this is a very critical tip. I want you guys to talk with everyone that's close to you, like your really close friends, your really close family, and tell them, that you're starting to work on a comic and you're excited about it. And just by telling them that you're doing this thing and saying that you need like time and space to work on it, they will have a better understanding of what you're trying to do. And also, they will hopefully be very encouraging and can kind of hold you accountable to making sure you're drawing every day. Now, I'm going to make a separate video talking about how to kind of deal with close friends slash family members that don't support your art, and I'm going to make a separate video for that. But for this video, I just want you guys to like seriously let everyone that's close to you know, whether it be boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, brothers, best friend, whoever it is that you surround yourself with, make sure they know that you want to be really serious about this and that you're really passionate about it. So let's jump into tip number 5. And this one's a small one, but I do this every day. I like to write down what I'm going to draw before I actually get into the drawing session. So that way I'm already excited, I'm already primed, and I know what I'm drawing as soon as I sit down. So when I do get those 15 minutes or I do get those 30-minute breaks, I know what I want to draw, I know what I want to practice, I know what I want to study, and that helps you get into drawing very quickly. Because if not, you might sit down, you might see that blank screen, and you might get lost and you think, okay, well, what am I supposed to be drawing? Am I working on like my comic? Am I supposed to be studying anatomy or backgrounds, painting? Um, and then all that thought can lead to you not drawing anything at all. So I want you guys to get into practice like throughout the day, as you're going through work or you're eating lunch. Think about what you want to draw when you gain some free time, and just keep a little, I like to keep a little notebook with me, and I just jot down little notes of, oh yeah, I want to work on like character interaction or expressions or like dynamic poses. Whatever it is that I'm excited about that day, I'll write it down, and then when I go for that drawing session, I am ready to go because I know what I want to work on. So that's tip number 5. Now, the last tip and the 6th tip is to make time goals and not physical goals. And let me explain what I mean by this. So, a physical goal is something that's like tangible, something that can be produced and is like done, like a finished product. And a time goal is just saying, I'm going to spend a certain amount of time. And let me kind of explain why this is helpful. When you have a physical goal, let's say, oh, like today I want to make sure I draw an entire comic page. You have this goal, which is great, which makes you motivated and you get down to draw, but a lot of the times when we're drawing, it takes a little bit more time than we think it will, and then we end up not meeting our expectations. And this is probably the one of the worst things you can do as an artist, is to not meet your expectations, because you lose your confidence, you start to doubt yourself, you start to get mad at yourself, and you lose that kind of motivation to come back and draw next time because you feel like you failed. You feel like you're a failure. And that's one thing that you want to avoid as an artist. You always want to kind of build up your confidence and build up your successes. So by having a physical goal, you're putting these unrealistic expectations on yourself that are not going to help you out at the end of the day. So instead, I want you guys to create time goals, kind of going back to that time journal. I want you just to write down, like, hey, I'm going to draw for 15 minutes today. I'm going to draw for 30 minutes today. And it doesn't matter what you draw or what you produce, as long as you sit down for 15 or 30 minutes or an hour, then you reward yourself as a success because you did the act of drawing. And this is so important because really with making comics, you just want to fall in love with the act of drawing and not necessarily what you're producing. So that's why I think time goals are the most important tip I can give you in this video, and hopefully that helps you guys kind of get into the correct mindset of working on your comic. I know it's very tough, I know it's very hard to find time, but if this is something that you want to do, you're gonna have to make the time to get it done. And hopefully that kind of encourages you guys. Take out that paper, take out that pencil tonight and just draw for 15-20 minutes, okay? And post it to your Instagram and say, hey, like, these were my daily warm-up exercises, or whatever the case may be. Just start working on it right now. Hopefully those 6 tips helped you get a better idea of what you can do to make some time for your art. If you have any questions or have any more suggestions, let me know in the comments section down below. And look out for next video, because we're going to be talking about how to write the middle of your story. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll be back with another video. Peace and love, and until next time.